It's here, guys. Plankton the movie is actually here. I'm going to be giving off my review of it. So, without matter of ado, let's begin with the video. Plankton the movie is a new Nickelodeon movie that is released on Netflix. And, by the time I'm recording this, this is actually Thursday, the day before the movie comes out. So before I talk about the movie tomorrow, I thought I'd give off a little review of what I thought of it. So Plankton the movie is a spin-off movie from the SpongeBob universe. And yeah, we all know how the Sandy Cheeks movie turned out. Oh, brother, this movie stinks! Anyways, you know what the reference is. Yeah. So actually, a while back, this movie was actually leaked on Twitter, and a lot of people have already seen this movie because it was leaked on Twitter. Now, I am one of those very few people who does not have Twitter, so thank goodness I was not spoiled for this movie. Now, before I head off and watch this movie tomorrow, I will say that a few things. I really wish they just kept the 2D animation style like the show. I don't understand why they can't just do that. Like, the animation just looks so weird. I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's just a little weird, and I really wish they went with the 2D animation style like the show. I have my fair share of history with SpongeBob. I thought that the first 3 seasons were amazing. And then as around in season 4, I still thought the show was pretty decent, but it definitely was not as good as the previous seasons. Nonetheless, I still really enjoyed the show. Even though it's not as good as the first 3 seasons. The first movie, a masterpiece, one of my favorite Nickelodeon movies. The second one, still an awesome movie, but not as good. The third one is really just okay. Like, it's not anything great or horrible, it's just an okay movie. And the Sandy Cheeks movie, oh gosh, I do not want to even come back to this film. Can we just, forget that it even existed, please? And now, Plankton the movie. Again, it's still Thursday as I am recording this. So, this is all I have to say before watching Plankton the movie. And I'll see you guys when I finish watching Plankton the movie. I know I said I would see you guys after I watch the movie, but, let's just say something happened, so now I have to watch it on Saturday. So yeah, this time I'll see you after when I'm done watching the Plankton movie. Alright guys, and this is me after watching the Plankton movie. And it was decent. I actually turned out to like this film a lot better than the Sandy Cheeks movie. While it's not a great film, it's not my favorite SpongeBob film, I definitely found it somewhat decent. And there were definitely things about this film that I really liked. This movie is a musical. I have no idea why, but by the trailers, it didn't seem like it was gonna be a musical. But it is a musical film. Every single musical number in this film, I loved. I loved all the musical numbers in this film. There are things I love about this film, but that doesn't mean I love the film. And also, there are a few moments where it is 2D animation, Not the same kind of 2D as like the show, but there are little mix of like 2D moments that I actually enjoyed. And we also do get to see more of Plankton's backstory of like him and how Karen met. Oh, and also, spoiler alert, we are now getting to like the more spoilish territory of like the film. So, of how they met. So basically, Karen started off as like a it's like a potato or like calculator. And then Plankton kind of felt kind of like a connection. And then they started hanging out and being friends. And then once they grew up and they went to college, he upgraded her and he built her into a whole robot. And ever since then, they were a couple, and they spent for the last 25 years trying to destroy the world and steal the secret formula. Now, before they got that idea, their very ever first invention was some type of freeze ray. And, yeah, that didn't work. They went beyond the water, like, they went into the surface and tried to do it on a little girl, but that didn't work. And we also do get to see how the chum bucket was made. And how, like, there's a glove on top of, like, the bucket. So they tried to freeze some type of, like, little girl, but it really just but the ice really went up to, like, a tiny part of, like, her toe. So then, she scooped up Plankton and Karen some type of, like, bucket, and then she threw it right at the ocean. And then the bucket was stuck in the ocean, right next to the Krusty Krab, and the glove of what the little girl was wearing stayed onto the handle of the bucket. Yes, that's how the chum bucket was there. And also, so they cut a hole inside of, like, the bucket, and then they made a restaurant out of that entire thing. So yeah, that's how Plankton and Karen met, and that's how the chum bucket was made. However, there are a few flaws that I don't like about this film. I really just don't like the CGI all that much. I wouldn't say it's the worst CGI ever. Like, yeah, it's not the worst CGI ever, but it's not that good either. Again, I really wish they had stick with the 2D look of how the show always is, or maybe they could have gone with that 2D look that was in the film. And the humor. There is humor here and there in the film where it's actually pretty funny and actually a little dark too. But there is also humor that is made for, like, kids. I get it. It's a kids film, so of course it's going to be humor made for kids, but like there are also older audiences who are watching these films too, and they gotta kind of consider that. But again, there is still humor here and there where it's actually pretty funny. But most of it is like more of humor to make kids laugh. But again, here and there throughout the film, you will see that type of humor. Yeah. Oh, and a few things, here and there, you actually do get to see a little bit of old classic SpongeBob. Yeah. Yeah, like, it ain't no joke. Like, here and there, you actually get to see a little bit of, like, the old classic SpongeBob that we used to know and adore. And yeah, you actually get get to see a little bit of that here and there throughout the film. Also, do you remember that narrator? Do you guys remember that narrator guy from the show? Like that guy who goes like 5 seconds later, or just narrates the show? Yeah. Well, that is actually in the film, and he actually narrates at the beginning. And oh my gosh, the voice. And just like SpongeBob, the narrator is voiced by Tom Kenny, and oh my gosh, the voice just sounds so much older now that it has been 25 years. Speaking of 25 years, I really like how Karen references on how they've been trying to do this for 25 years. And that's literally how long the show has been running for. I also really like when Karen does that. And also, the performances from the actors is very solid. I really liked that about the film as well. Also, yes, there are moments where they are out of the surface, like they are out of the water and into the human world. There is live action in this film. But, however, before you get, angry and upset, it's not like the Sandy Cheeks film where they overdid it. Where they didn't overdo it with, the live action. They didn't do too much of it. It was really just one location, and that was it. And also, this film actually has heartwarming moments here and there. Yeah, there are a few moments where it's actually heartwarming. But, what really stuck out to me a lot about this film is that how it really reminds me of the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water. Seeing this whole bond with Plankton and SpongeBob genuinely made me feel like that I was actually watching Sponge Out of Water, and I really like how it made me feel that way. Also, but just in general, the bond with SpongeBob and Plankton is just cool. It's just really nice to see in this film. And that's just what I really like about it. So yeah, if you're worried that this film is just gonna be weird and just another disappointment like the Sandy Cheeks film, well then nope, you actually will not be disappointed by this film. And also, do you remember in the show Plankton having I don't know if you would call it a dog or whatever. I guess a bikini bottom dog or something. I don't know, but he has I'm just gonna call him a dog, but I don't think he's a dog though. His pet dog's Spots. Do you remember Spots from the show? He actually appears in this film. Well, he only makes a few cameos. He's still there. Also, this one scene of a bunch of cameras set up and SpongeBob just looking at those cameras, trying to catch every single one of Plankton's moves, and Mr. Krabs instructing him what to do. Come on, you cannot this scene literally reminded me of the scene from the Dogman movie where Chief was instructing Dogman on basically to just watch those cameras and catch every one of Petey's moves. This is what this reminds me of. This scene really just reminds me of that scene from the Dogman movie. Yes. Like that. And overall, I think that the film is really decent. Again, it's not a great film. It's not my favorite SpongeBob film. But I think that this is the first time in a while where we've actually gotten a decent SpongeBob film. Like, the third one was okay. The Sandy Cheeks movie is something that I wish had never existed. But this movie is just really decent. And those are the things I like and what I don't like about it. So for the Plankton movie, I will give it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 is my rating for the Plankton movie. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, like my videos, share them, and comment anything. Also, do you agree with these opinions? That is absolutely fine if you don't. I'd love to hear yours in the comments. Anyways, I gotta go take a piss now, so bye.